A new report shows the housing crisis in California may be at an all-time high. The price of a median home in the state is now $500,000, $500,000. That is double the national average. Nowhere is the housing crisis more apparent than, of course, San Francisco, where on the website Zillow, check this out, a newly constructed two-bedroom, two-bath home with a view, $3.85 million. How about this? A studio, no bedroom, a studio in the Sunset, the outer Sunset, more than $1 million. Joining me now is real estate expert America Foy from Sotheby's Realty. America, anybody who's looking for a house right now has to be thinking, I got to leave. I can't, this is ridiculous.
Everybody that's looking for a house now has enough money to buy a house, and so when people are coming into, buyers are a lot more sophisticated today. You know, they know what they can afford, they know where to look.
But we're talking about $500,000 in California as the median. It's much higher than that in the Bay Area, isn't it?
It's almost double in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And you know, because we don't have a lot of space to go, right? We're seeing, you know,
It's a limited supply.
Limited supply, because we can only go up in San Francisco, and we're, you know, in LA or Sacramento or any of these other metropolitan areas, the house prices are, you know, more close to the median.
So what's your advice to people? Because, you know, I know in Silicon Valley, you're looking at like a 1950s era home, an old home with no upgrades on a small lot that's going for about $1 million, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Which is just crazy, like a two-bedroom, one-bath, you know, maybe 1,000, 1,200 square feet. So what's your advice on somebody who's trying to get into the housing market? Just give up on Silicon Valley and start looking on the fringes of the Bay Area, Tracy, that kind of thing?
My best advice to people is to learn how to compromise. You know, we're seeing huge prices in areas where there's everything, micro markets based around transportation. You know, for convenience sake, people are willing to pay more than top dollar for sight unseen. So be a little willing to look outside of you know, your prime area, and you'll find a deal someplace in there.
Okay, and I just read it's on SF Gate today. One of the hot spots that you get more bang for your buck is the peninsula right now. Redwood City, Belmont, Burlingame. Some of these places where there are older homes that were built back in the 40s and 50s that have not been updated, but there are good schools close by, and you're close to transportation. You're close to Silicon Valley in the city.
Right. Those types of homes are very, you know, the 1950s homes, 1960s homes, 1970s homes that are not updated. They're comfortable to people that are in their 40s and 50s who are the main home buyers. It's called the principle of simplicity. So what was avant-garde for us when we were growing up now is comfortable, and so we choose to have those houses versus something, you know, a newer construction. So, you know, the prime buying age, really the 35 to 50, is those houses are very what's the word I'm looking for? Very
good to have.
Good to have. You know, I mean, preferable to us.
Let me ask you. We got time for one more question. Are we in danger of a bubble bursting here? If I'm going to go out and sink a whole bunch of money into a house, a big fat down payment into a house, do I have to be concerned that maybe we're peaking and that they're going to start dropping?
My experience with this part of the market is that we are starting to peak. We're seeing price reductions. We're seeing more and more coming onto the market. A lot of times it doesn't sell because the sellers aren't realizing what they expect. But I would say at this time, you know, just hold steady. You know, we're going to be able to get you into house pretty soon.
All right, write it out a little bit. America Foy, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right, Heather.